Now what I'm going to show you today is, the date is, it's 9:11 a.m. on the 19th of September 2014. We're looking at Nuemayer 3. And this is a camera that's mounted on Nuemayer. There's three cameras there from different directions. One is out in the field that looks back at the station itself, and then what we have actually is a view in several directions. However, I've taken this little compass here and I've stuck a piece of plastic, little tiny ruler. It's only 150mm long, and it's set at 50 degrees, as you can see there. Now I've been noticing and mentioning occasionally that the sunrise alters and the moonrise alters around where we are in eastern Australia, and that's an indicator that the wobble of the earth is happening. And I've also said there's a very large body sitting around Antarctica, between Antarctica and New Zealand, stopping the earth flipping over. What's happening at the moment, I'll go through step by step. It's 4 a.m, which I'll zoom in for you and show you the time. But I'll show you what's happening first, then we'll go back to the time and you can see the phenomena. So I'll call out the time as we go. 4 a.m, 4:10, 4:20, 4:30, 4:40, 4:50, 5 a.m, 5:10, 5:20, 5:30, 5:40, 5:50, 6 a.m, 6:10, 6:20, 6:30. See the sun starting to peep over the horizon at 6:40. It is so bright that the camera, at the centre of the camera, it has a protector which will cut out the brightness and give you this black dot. So it is the sun. And the time is 6:50. You'll see the angle it's travelling on. It's now 7:20, 7:30, 7:40, 7:50, 8 o'clock, 8:10, 8:20, 8:30, 8:40, 8:50. So it's gone up at an angle of slightly under 50 degrees. We go back, it's pretty well centre on the 50 degree mark there. I've got that set at this point here at about 51 degrees, a little over 50. And the angle of this, I've tried to keep it as flat as possible to the horizon. You see as it's dropping back now. Okay, now what we'll do now, we'll go back further and we'll see how the light is so bright. It's flaring on either side there as the sunrise is coming up. So in other words, the sun rises around here and moving across the horizon, but it would be down in this position here. So if you go down from that straight down, you see the point of that ruler I've got stuck on the screen there. It'll be coming up on this angle. Okay, so just watch the light, you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so it's down here somewhere. So we'll run through forward now. So take the centre of that straight down, that's where the sun is. There's the sun. And there's a black dot at the centre of the camera, which will very handy for observation. It tells you exactly where the sun is. So we'll keep it going there. We're now at 9:50, 10, 10, 20, 10:40, 11, 11:20, 11:40, 12. I'll just keep going and occasionally tell you the time. So it's 13 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock. Watch the screen and watch the shadow starting to appear now at 13:50. So in other words, has the sun gone up and turned around and come down the other side there in a matter of a few hours? It would seem unlikely, but we can't rule it out. Strange things happen. So here's this light coming up. This is the tower itself, right? Now, a light starts to shine here, yet you've got light behind this, and you've got light. This is all across here are icebergs. Now I'll take that off. We don't need this anymore at the moment. I'll always put it back. All right, now here's this shadow here, and you'll see it drift across, but there's a light source here. We're now going up to 4 in the afternoon, 1600. You see this is starting to stretch, so something's very low on the horizon there, but there's another light source here. The moon at this moment is not giving any light. Now you see how dark it's gone. It's now 1640, 1650, quite dark. All of a sudden it comes bright again, and then the light is still shining about the same rate behind it. Gone dark again, then it goes bright again. Now up to 1800, which is 6 p.m. It's now 6:30, 18:30. And it goes dark. Now we'll go back and I'll take the camera down a little bit so you can actually see the numbers. Got to get the camera in the right spot, otherwise it'll be overwhelmed by the light. So here it's saying 1950, and we're going to go backwards. (1900), 1800. Suddenly it's bright 10 minutes prior to 1800 at 1750. Then it goes dark again at 1740. 1730 it's bright again. 1720 it's dark again. 1710 it's coming bright again, very bright. Here's a very bright shadow here. It's pointing straight at it. So whatever the light source here is directly behind the light source over here. You could call that sunset. That ain't sunset. This is a very bright source of light here, but it's going on and off. And I might remind you, if you've been following me for the years we've been doing this, that the sun, when we was down further on the east coast of Australia, the Sunshine Coast, leaving the camera run for hours, would see the sun brighten up and then go dim, brighten up and go dim, brighten up and go, but you'd never notice it with the naked eye, because a human being is not watching it for a start. You can't look at the sun, and if it gets slightly darker, well, it could be a cloud or whatever. But when we was doing it, we've got the camera straight on, straight out to sea, and we could see that it was getting darker and brighter. Now, in 10 minutes it's gone. Now it's 1650. I'll go back the other direction. 1700, 1650, 1640, 1630. Getting bright again. The light's getting bright. Now 1550 and we're going backwards, right? We're now down to 1510 and there's a shadow at, this is 2:30 in the afternoon, there's a shadow there. So we keep going back. Now there's a shadow there, and there's a brightness of the sun there. Here comes the sun. We're going backwards, remember, it's 12:40. Here comes the sun. Now what we noticed when we was in England, down on the English Channel, was the sun would rise, would rise in the morning, so from our perspective where we were in England, it would rise, go up, go above us, slightly over the channel, come back, and then set westward, eastward. Very unusual. We're going back. But now we'll get out of there and we'll go over to something very unusual that's happening up at the other direction. This is the Nuemayer again. You see the stars here, and that's have to go through its paces. You see the bright star going across, and what it's doing now is streaming. So we'll let it stream through till it gets through to the cycle, the end of the cycle. It's now 13:20, 14, 15, shadow coming this way, 17:50, 18, 19, 20, dark, and then we get this enormous amount of light here. So I can stop it there, back it up. Pitch black, but light in the sky, and then we have this. Now, this here is a planet. See that roundness there? And over the months that we've been watching this, the planet has been up here, but it seems to have settled down, and this is why it indicates that this planet is sitting over New Zealand, or between New Zealand and Antarctica. So we go forward one. So we've gone forward in time, and it's gone. So we go back in time. There it is. It's so bright. You see the phenomena of it, bang, it's there. It's changing its position. Light source is changing. Then we go down, we've got this here. So the light coming out of here is overwhelming. Now, it could be a fake on their behalf. I'll tell you why. Go back. See, this here is open. It's now, this is from underneath the, and I'll tell you the time first. It's 8:40 in the evening, 20:40. So they've got that open for some reason or other. What is possibly they're doing is bringing out a vehicle with a big floodlight on it. Maybe. We can't rule it out. All of a sudden we've got that. So there's 10 minutes, they've come around, they set the thing up, right? And there's a gigantic flash of light. Why are they doing that? They're trying to cover up. Now, is this flash of light because it's aimed directly at the camera? What's this here? But that there, my dear friends, is the planet. And that's what they're covering up. They don't want you to see it. So I'd say they bring this gigantic light out, they set it up, switch it on, directly aimed at the camera. That floods the camera. But then you've got this halo here coming off of this here. So these are lens flares. Don't get too concerned about that. But that is not. That is a planet. We've seen it many times now. It's getting to the point, I suppose, it's so obvious that they're trying to cover it up. We go forward, nothing. It's now getting up to nearly 12 at night. Something else is happening, changing it from pitch black, there, all of a sudden it's gone to this light here. Now, the camera might not be able to pick it up because there's not enough light. It certainly picks up that. So there's something shining on this from outside in that direction. So the light is coming in this direction. We're at just after midnight. We can see the stars coming up at a steep angle. They may have a gauze in front of it. This light flashing on the outside here is not normal. Many times we watch this and there's no light there at all, but they can have the lights on because it's 3 in the morning, which is rather odd. They should be all asleep, but all the lights are on, so what are they watching? Okay, so we've got 3:30 in the morning. We've got that light's gone, so whatever it is has moved around to here, so it seems to be moving very fast. And then there's a very, very bright light. This is 4:30 in the morning. The whole sky is lit up, yet this is not lit up. This is not lit up, that's not lit up. Okay, now we're going to the colour spectrum. The camera changes from black and white to colour because of light intensity. It's just the type of camera it is. So now we're getting to 6 in the morning. There's no light here or here, no light on the snow. So whatever it is, the sunrise is in the wrong spot. It's over here somewhere. You see the light starting to shine here. You see the shadows here and the light there on the snow, as the ripples on the snow. Very bright light on the end of this. Blue sky here, light has gone. So, in other words, their other camera is looking in this direction. Nuemayer 2 and 3. So we're going through now to 11:50, it's 12 o'clock, midday. Very odd. Now, if it was midday anywhere else, this would be all bright, right? No, not down there. So we're now going to 1 in the afternoon. Something is lighting up this around here, starting to get brighter. I'm going to show you this is not normal. We've got light coming from over this side now. Here it is here, the shadow of the tower. You watch what happens to it. It's now at 4:30 in the afternoon. And it's gone. But it reached the horizon of our sight line here. And there's a dim light there. It's now going up to 7:30, 8 o'clock. This is open. Are they waiting for something? All lights come on. It's 8:30, and we have that. That, my dear friends, means they're covering up. So, within 10 minutes, this bright light is gone. And that planet would be down below the horizon because of the angle of the sun that we've seen today. It's coming up that angle. So the rotation of the Earth is like so, right? Along this line. Hasta la vista, babies.